Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Meydan Racecourse here on Super Saturday. It is March the 9th, 2019. I'm going to look at all the races tonight from Meydan, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Also, join me today. We have the Gotham here in New York from Aqueduct, which is a great prep race for the Kentucky Derby. It's kind of our local prep race for the Wood Memorial, which is the local prep race for the Kentucky Derby coming up in about 7 weeks' time, so it's just around the corner. Also, continue on the trend of Derby preps. We have the Tampa Bay Derby from Tampa Bay Downs today, which is a great race. I'll have selections on YouTube for that. And also, we have the Jeff Ruby Stakes, formerly known as the Spiral, formerly known as the Lane's End, formerly known as the Gallery Furniture Stakes. That race has had so many names in the last God knows when, in my lifetime and even longer. But go join me here on YouTube for the Jeff Ruby Stakes preview also. And also, great fixture today and tomorrow in France from for the jumps tonight for Auteuil, and also Saint Cloud, great flat fixture tomorrow for the first fixture of the year. And also, what we all can't wait for, Cheltenham is on Tuesday, and I'll be looking at all 4 days of the festival from Cheltenham. Tuesday's preview video should be up on Sunday evening, so I'll be trying to get the videos out for those previews 48 hours in advance of each card. But today's Super Saturday card from Meydan is a great card, so let's get on to it. We have 7 races to look at. The first race, it's the local prep race for the Golden Shaheen. The first race, it's the Group 3 Mahab Al-Shamal Stakes. It's a Group 3 race going for a purse of $350,000, raced for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the dirt course. My top selection here, I'm going to take the 3-horse Kamikaze. I'm going to go 3-2-6 in the Tricast Trifecta. 3-2-6 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection of 3-horse Kamikaze. This 6-year-old gelding by Distorted Humor. William Buick gets the leg up for Charlie Appleby. The horse's most recent outing came in Flemington in Australia on the 6th of November, 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs down the straightaway on soft turf and illicit stakes. The horse finished 16th by 12.5 lengths there. He stalked early on, but then he just hit the wall. He just couldn't keep up with the Australian sprinters that day. I think the Australians have the second best sprinters in the world. I think here in America, I don't think the horses are I think the European horses are the best in the world, to tell you the truth. But one thing we do have on the rest of the world is our sprinters are the best. Our dirt sprinters, to say that. I think the Australians have the best turf sprinters, but we have the best dirt sprinters and maybe sprinters all around. But this horse just couldn't keep up with them there. They're too fast for him. Before that, at Caulfield on the 13th of October, in a listed stakes, 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs on the grass. The horse finished 8th by 6 3/4 lengths there, and he just never had a run. First off the break, he probably needed the race, and then he ran here last year in the Al Shamal, where he finished 9th by 14 1/4 lengths, and he never got into it, but he had a little bit of a bad post draw that day, and then he ran last year in the Group 3 Al Shindaga, where the horse finished 2nd by 4 lengths behind Mike Hatch, and he ran a good effort. Here on the dirt, he's 8-2, but he hasn't won in quite a while on the dirt. His last victory came over 14 months ago in the 1,200 meters Dubawi Stakes, where he won by 2 1/4 lengths, beating the veteran Ronaldo the Wizard, who's retired last season, and beating the second place finisher, who was who was Marab, who's a decent sprinter. So he won against some good horses there, but I think he's due for another victory, and I think he can get it here today. Good post draw. Watch out for him here at 5-1. So to recap my selections for the first from Meydan, it's the Al Shamal Sprint. Gonna go with the number 3 horse Kamikaze. Gonna go 3-2-6 in the Tricast Trifecta. Let's get to race number 2. Race number 2 from Meydan, it's the Albastica Stakes. It's listed stakes going for a purse of $300,000. Race is for 3-year-olds only. Field of 14 horses going 1,900 meters or a mile and 3/16 on the dirt course. The local prep race here for the UAE Derby coming up in 3 weeks. Top selection in the Albastica. I'm going to take the filly, the 3-horse Divine Image. I'm going to go 3-13-7 in the Tricast Trifecta. 3-13-7 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection of 3-horse Divine Image. 3-0 filly by Scat Daddy. Brett Doyle picks up the mount for Godolphin and Charlie Appleby. The horse's most recent outing came the 21st of February here at Meydan, 1,900 meters, mile 3/16 in the Group 3 UAE Oaks, and the horse won by a neck there. He stalked early on, fought a good race down the straightaway, and just held on. It was a very good effort. Before that, at Meydan in the listed stakes, the trial for the Oaks, or excuse me, the UAE 1,000 Guineas, excuse me, 1,600 meters, 1 mile. The horse finished second by 9 3/4 lengths. Didn't break all that well. Had a little bit of a turn of foot, but it was the horse's first off the break, and I think she needed the race. But she didn't run shit either. She just needed the race there. And then before that, the 13th of December at Chelmsford in the UK on the poly track, and a novice race, 1,600 meters, 1 mile. The horse won by 6 lengths, stalked early on, got the lead, and then just took off clear. It was a very good run there. Like I said, she's the filly taking on the boys, so she gets a little bit of a weight break, only carrying 117 pounds. She's a good post draw. She looks like she could sit a little bit closer, which you want to do on the dirt course here at Meydan. And I think she's a live horse, so at odds of 9-2, I'll take her. Not the best price in the world, but I'll take her. Better than some odds in this race. So to recap my selections for the second from Meydan, it's the Albastica. Gonna take the 3-horse Divine Image. I'm gonna go 3-13-7 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. Let's get to the third. Race number 3 from Meydan. It's the Group 3 Nat Al Sheba Turf Sprint. It's going for a purse of $350,000. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 11 horses dashing 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs down the turf straightaway. This race named after Nat Al Sheba, the old race course in Dubai, which closed its doors 10 years ago at the end of this month. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Getting into the Dubai racing, I used to wake up early in the mornings on Thursdays when I was a kid watching Nat Al Sheba, and when I had off on Thursdays from school when I was a kid, that was even better. I would, just sit in front of the TV and watch it. I used to record it to VHS. It was, it was very fun. Nat Al Sheba with those kind of tight little turns. It was kind of a triangle, that course, and had a lot of fun there. And one thing I always remember, if you weren't a speed horse, you weren't winning. It was a very speed favoring course, very similar to Meydan. Maybe not as extreme as Meydan, but still very speed favoring. And some great races. These great horses ran there. It's great, some great World Cups, some great turf horses. It was always great racing. Still favorite World Cup winner was Dubai Millennium, but that's for another day. But my top selection here in the Nat Al Sheba Turf Sprint, I'm going to try and beat Blue Point if it's possible. I know he's the favorite, but he looks a little vulnerable in this race, but if he wins, he wins. I'm going to try and beat him with a little bit of a better price. That's going to be the 6-horse Fatina. I'm going to go 6-9-3 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 6-9-3 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, 6-horse Fatina. 6-year-old gelding by Nikoni here. Dane O'Neill picks up the mount. 15-1 here, it's a great price. His horse's most recent outing came the 14th of February here at Meydan in the Group 2 Meydan Sprint, and he finished second by 5 lengths behind Blue Point. He set the pace early on, but Blue Point just had the jump on it at the end. It wasn't the day to win, but I think the extra furlong or 200 meters today should really suit this one, and I think he could get a good run. Before that, at Meydan on the 24th of January in a 95 plus handicap, 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs on the lawn. The horse finished third by 1 3/4 lengths there. He stalked early on, and he just never had that good turn of foot. He didn't run half bad, but just didn't have that turn of foot. And then on the 3rd of January, it made down 95 to 110 handicap, 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs. The horse won by 2 1/4 lengths there. Stalked early on, got the lead, and he held on going away to a very nice victory off the break. And then before that, he ran down under in Australia in a listed handicap where he finished 8th by 3 lengths, never getting into it. But I think coming here stalking, which I think is a little bit better for him. If he doesn't set the pace stalking, he should really get around the course well, and I think he'll really run well. 15-1. If there's going to be a horse that could beat Blue Point, it's going to be this one. So I'll take him as a top selection. But like I said, if Blue Point wins, I'll applaud him. Here in America, we have the offer of a pick 4 or a multi-race pick 3 wager. If I would play it, I would suggest you to use Blue Point on your ticket along with Fatina. But to recap my selections for the third from Meydan, it's the Group 3 Nat Al Sheba Turf Sprint. I'm going to take the 6-horse Fatina. I'm going to go 6-9-3 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta, 6-9 in the multi-race wager. So now let's get to the fourth race. Race number 4 from Meydan. It is the Group 3 Burj Nahar Stakes. It's going for a purse of $350,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 12 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the Meydan turf dirt course. The dirt. Top selection here. I'm going to take the 5-horse Axelrod. I'm going to go 5-2-1 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 5-2-1 Tricast Trifecta, top selection of 5-horse Axelrod, 4-year-old colt by Warriors Reward. Royston French gets the leg up on this one. This horse is making his first start in the UAE. His most recent outing came in the USA at Santa Anita on the 26th of December, 7 furlongs in the Grade 1 Malibu, and the horse finished fourth by 5 lengths there. He didn't break all that well, and it was very wide, and he just never had the turn of foot. It wasn't the day to win. Before that, he ran at Churchill on the 3rd of November in the mile quarter Breeders' Cup Classic, and he finished ninth by 7 3/4 lengths there. He was very wide that day, and he just never got the good kick. It wasn't the day to win again. And then before that at Parks, Philadelphia Park, the 22nd of September, 1,800 meters, mile and the eighth in the Pennsylvania Derby. He ran a good second place finish by 1 3/4 lengths behind Mackenzie. He closed up well at the end, very good effort. And then before then, the Smarty Jones at Parks, the Grade 3 event on the 25th of August. The horse won by 4 lengths. He didn't break all that well, which happens occasionally with him, but he closed up well at the end, and he ran a good effort. This horse had a very sneaky good 2018 summer campaign. You know, he won the Indiana Derby, he won the Smarty Jones, and he ran a very good second place finish, I think, in that Parks in the Philadelphia Derby, or the Pennsylvania Derby. There we go. That's the proper word. Like I said, he went under the radar. He ran a very good 2018 campaign. He's the kind of horse that, you know, could be, if he comes back to the States this season, he's the kind of horse that could really show some, you know, good efforts. I like him a lot here today. There's going to be a lot of pace in this one. I think this race will set up for a little bit of a closer like he is. So at 4-1, I'll take him. So to recap my selections for the fourth from Meydan, it's the Group 3 Bergen Har. Going to take the 5-horse Axelrod. I'll go 5-2-1 in the Tricast Trifecta. The fifth race from Meydan, it is the Group 2 Dubai City of Gold Stakes. It's a Group 2 race going for a purse of $300,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going 2,400 meters or 1 lap around the turf course, which is 1 mile and 1/2 in circumference. Top selection here, I'm going to go to the 2-horse Old Persian. I'm going to go 285 in the Tricast Trifecta. 285 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection 2-horse Old Persian. 4-year-old colt by Dubawi. William Buick picks up the mount for Godolphin and Charlie Appleby. The horse's most recent outing came the 15th of September at Doncaster in the Group 1 St. Ledger, 2,900 meters, mile 13/16. He finished fifth by 10 3/4 lengths there behind Kew Gardens. He stalked early on, but then he just did not stay the extra 2 furlongs to that extended mile 3/4 trip. It wasn't the day to win. I think cutting back to 2,400 meters or 1.5 today. First off the break, good inside poster. I just think he'll run a lot better. Before that, he ran the 22nd of August at York during the Ebor meeting in the Group 2 Great Voltaire Stakes, and he won by a head there. And that day he stalked early on, closed up well, but he looked like he was a little inexperienced in the stretch run. Kind of just got a little, you know, lazy, just never really concentrated, but he still won decently. And then before that, at the Curragh in Ireland in the Group 1 2,400 meter, 1.5 Irish Derby, the horse finished 6 by 4 3/4 lengths there, and you know, he just never really ran well. Never got the good closing kick, and it wasn't the day to win. And then before that, at Ascot on firm ground on Royal Ascot in the Group 2 2,400 meter King Edward Stakes, the horse won by 1 3/4 lengths, and he just went away with it. A very good victory there, stalking. You know, like I said, sitting closer here, cut back to 2,400 meters. You know, I think he'll really run well, so I'll take this top selection. But the only problem is 9 to 5. That's a shit price, I know. So we'll have to hit the Tricast to make some extra money with this race. So here's my Tricast. Recap my selections for the fifth were made on. It is the Group 2 Dubai City of Gold Stakes. Going to take the 2-horse Old Persian. I'm going to go 285 in the Tricast Trifecta. Let's get to race 6. Race number 6 from Meydan. It's the feature race of the evening, and it's also the local prep race for the Dubai World Cup. The 6th race from Meydan, it's the Group 1 Al Maktoum Challenge Round 3. It's going for a purse of $600,000. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going 2,000 meters or 1.25 miles on the dirt course. Top selection here. You know, the reigning champion of the Dubai World Cup last year, Thunder Snow, looks very hard to beat in this race, so I'm going to take him as a top top selection. Another short price to know, but he should run well. I'm going to go 248 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 248 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection, the 2-horse Thunder Snow. This 5-year-old horse by Helmet here, Godolphin Doan, Saeed Mansour trained, gets the leg up Christophe Simeon. The horse is most recent outing came the 3rd of November here in America at Churchill in the Grade 1 2,000 meter mile and quarter Breeders' Cup Classic. And he ran a very good third place finish by 1 3/4 lengths there. He stalked early on, had a little bit of a turn of foot. He had a decent third place finish. The only problem was Christophe Simeon kind of went to town on the horse with the whip. He kind of whipped the horse so many times, with that being said, he ran well, but if he didn't whip the horse so much, where else would he finished? Good luck for Simeon with the new French whip rules going into effect a few weeks ago, because if he did that there, he would have had a very long, suspension. But before that, this horse probably ran, I think, one of the best races of his lifetime. They came here in New York at Belmont, monoquarter, 2,000 meters at the Group 1 or Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup, and the horse finished second by a neck behind Discreet Lover. This horse sat back early after some wicked fractions on the front end, but this horse had a great turn of foot. He just missed the bob at the end, but he ran a very good effort. And then before that, at York in the Group 1 Jedmont International, he finished 8th by 13 3/4 lengths there. The best horse at a monoquarter in 2018 was Roaring Line. Roaring Line just ran the race of his life. He loved York, but this horse, he just could not quicken up. He set the pace early on and just never got into it at the end. It wasn't the day to win. And then before that, 2,000 meters monoquarter here at Meydan on World Cup night in the World Cup. He won by 5 3/4 lengths there. From a wide poster, he went straight to the front end and didn't look back. A very easy victory that afternoon or that evening on the conveyor belt of speed that course was that evening. And then he ran this race last year. Ocean Murphy had a breakout season last year, but he probably rode one of the worst races of the year last year for this horse. Christophe Simeon was supposed to ride this horse last year in the round 3 of the Maktoum Challenge, but he was suspended, so they put Ocean Murphy up, and he didn't ride a good race for this horse. He stalked early on, and he never got this horse into a good rhythm, and he just weakened out of it, and it wasn't the day to win. But when they put Simeon on the backup, he took off clear. This race is not nearly as deep as some of the other races he's faced, and I just think he'll run well. He's been training well, according to the reporters, and I'll take him as a top selection. So to recap my selection for the 6th from Meydan, it's the Group 1 $600,000 Al Maktoum Challenge Round 3. I'm going to take the 2-horse Thunder Snow. I'm going to go 248 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. Let's get to the nightcap from Meydan. The nightcap from Meydan, the 7th race, it's the Group 1 Jebel Hatta Stakes. It's going for a purse of $400,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going 1,800 meters or a mile and an eighth on the turf course. Top selection, I'm going to take the 4-horse Century Dream. I'm going to go 4-10-6 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. 4-10-6 Tri-Cash Trifecta. Top selection of 4-horse Century Dream. This 5-year-old horse by Cape Cross. Simon Christopher trains. Ocean Murphy gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came the 21st of February here at Meydan in the Group 2 1,600 meters Zebul Mile, and he finished second by 3 lengths there. He stalked early on, but he just never quickened up. Couldn't get the good closing kick. It wasn't the day to win, but it was the horse's first off the break, and I think he needed the race. Before that, he ran at Ascot on the 20th of October, 1,600 meters, 1 mile down the straightaway in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, and the horse finished third by 3 1/4 lengths behind Roaring Lion, who probably ran, Roaring Lion, like I said earlier, his best horse monoquarter in 2018. He won that day, but Roaring Lion hated the ground. His wheels were spinning, but he got there and in time. This horse, he stalked early on, had a little bit of a turn of foot. I think he ran a good race, just as good as Roaring Lion that afternoon. And then before that at Arlington Park here in Chicago, or over in Chicago, back in August in the Grade 1 $1 million 2,000 meter mile to quarter Arlington Million, he finished 4th by 2 1/4 lengths there, and he finished 3rd, but he was disqualified because he came out in the stretch, and he just he stalked early on, and never got the good closing kick. Kind of got overtaken. It wasn't the day to win. And then before that, in the Group 2 1600 meter summer mile, he finished fourth by 3 1/4 lengths there, and just kind of weakened out of it on the front end. He's going to sit closer today. He's getting his second off the break race, and I think he's going to do well. Good post draw. Watch out for him here at 520. I think it's a good price on him. So to recount my selections for the 7th from Meydan, it's the Group 1 Jebel Hatta. Going to take the 4-horse Century Dream. Going to go 4, 10, 6 in the Tri-Cash Trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody, and join me in 3 weeks for my Dubai World Cup preview video. Good luck.